If you don't know what the game is and you don't know really what you're after, guess what? You don't know what you're doing. A lot of people at this point are looking for how quickly you can do something, but how honest you are and how much they can trust you.
Today, I'm here with Chris Ranallo. So I'm going to give a little background of how we met. About 10 minutes before a meeting with the suites and all the partners, I was in the hotel room, I was getting ready, and I was like, damn, I'm going to be the last guy down in the lobby. And I ran to the elevator, and someone else was in the elevator, and we were both late to the lobby. Since I've known Chris, we first met working collaboratively on the marketing for the suites. I got to spend about 8 hours with him in a meeting. Then as I started to learn more about your business, I realized you're kind of a man that does more than just real estate. And for everyone watching this, Chris and I have worked together for a few months now. And what I'm actually more interested to talk about today than anything is the people side of your business. I think a lot of people see real estate going digital, and it for sure is. But I don't think the digital works without all of the connections. And I wanted to have you on here today because I think you're a guy with a lot of good connections.
Hey man, I appreciate it. And to start off, really feel fortunate to have met you in the elevator and to have met you through Jason and the suites and the whole crew. It's just really the relationship's grown, the friendship's grown, and I'm really excited that you've already been able to help a handful of my clients and friends that have needed your resources and
So,
services.
yeah, I want to ask you about this. So when I met you, you said, I'm a realtor. And I said, okay, you sell some houses. Then I'm learning, okay, he's also an investor. And I'm also learning that there's been a lot of entrepreneurial ventures you've been on. So for a lot of the people listening to this, some of them may not be an entrepreneur, some of them may just be thinking about it. What would you say was your first actual entrepreneurial venture in life?
You know what? Going back, I can always start with music. So
Okay.
I've done music for a long time since started playing piano when I was 6. But that was just my dad was teaching me and I was learning the craft. But I would say probably a mixture of getting into music and learning how to actually, make money and profit off of it, but also getting into sales and I sold Cutco. So I was that guy. Believe it or not, Alex, back in the 90s, you could show up with a briefcase full of knives to a stranger's door and they would let you in their home. They were really excited. They were really excited. I had a briefcase of knives that could literally cut someone's hand off. Literally, I had cuts on my hands from doing the
The
presentations.
example.
Yeah. One of the things was like, watch, we can cut through a penny. Oh, okay. I can literally cut through a penny with one of these scissors. But no, that was it, man. I think what was I, 17? 16, 17. And that was it when, yes, I was working under Cutco, but I soon realized that, yeah, you know what? It's up to me. I have to go I have to create these relationships and I need to go out and hit the pavement.
What was the first moment where you thought maybe houses are the thing I should be selling? Was there someone, a mentor you had? Was there a person you knew? Or were you just like an HGTV junkie?
So definitely love me some HGTV, but I would say a couple things. One, a buddy of mine named Adam Grubb. I got to give kudos to him. He and his family are friends from the area, from the Des Moines area, big building family. Would build 300 to 400 houses a year, maybe more. And that's
Okay,
pretty
yeah.
big in the Des Moines market and then in some of the other Iowa markets. But Adam became a good friend. I went to school with my brothers and he just, I was on tour playing music in Vail, Colorado, and he just approached me and he's like, what are you going to do after this? What are you doing now? And I'm like, I'm playing 3 hours a day and then I can pretty much ski the rest of the time and hang out. And he's like, why don't you get your license? You can come and sit in some opens for us. I can't guarantee that you'd be able to work for the company, but you could at least sit in some opens. So that led me, and that was back in 2006. And that was one of the, I would say, invitations that I received and kind of pillars to me getting into business. The other would be I was born into a family of contractors. My mom's side, just home builders, literally custom home builders. That's what we were around as kids. I was doing all the grunt work, all of the unskilled labor, just showing up there and cleaning houses, all the stuff that, that you do as grunt work. But it taught me a lot. It really did. I didn't get a chance to really learn the business side though. It was more of
You were
just
in it too much.
and I was helping them out. But yeah, that was it. That's that. And I just took that in from Adam, and I sat in an open house my first weekend and sold a townhome and didn't know how to write a contract and
No,
looked at
and
my,
no chat GPT back then.
oh man, that would have been amazing. Just incredible. But it was great because I learned how to do it
Yeah.
and it taught me a lot. So that was my, I would say that was how I inserted myself into real estate.
How old were you at the time?
27.
So at that time, what were some of the thoughts going through your head before you decided to be like, no, I'm going to take this pretty seriously? Because you could have played the ski route, and like that's a
Yep.
route you can ride for a while.
Yep. Yep. I think looking back, that's where I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball because I didn't take it seriously. I kind of looked at it as it's a second form of income. I mean, I was used to I was surviving off of playing music and teaching lessons. I had about 32 students. I was teaching guitar and piano to a lot of kiddos and some adults. And I was just like, geez, Chris, what else can you do? You want to go shine shoes? Go learn how to give massage. It was just like I was literally doing a lot of things to survive. So with real estate, I'm thinking, didn't really cost much to get into it. I'm being provided a store to sit in. You know, it's a retail environment. I can go in and sit in a retail environment every single weekend. And that's my retail store. So that is one thing I really started to take from it. But I didn't realize that when I first got into it until Adam and the crew, they paid for some very high level training. And so I would say first 6 months didn't really take it seriously. Then after that, the bottom fell out of the market, just nosedive, especially for new construction. But I was thankful because the builder that I worked with, they weathered the storm. They were cash heavy and they made some really good investments. And I would say that they pivoted. They took some of their properties and had turned them into rentals, but then they took others and really focused on selling them. So what I meant by me not focusing and taking it seriously is I just looked at it as it's another form of income. But 6 months into it, after I had that sales training and realized, wow, this is a huge opportunity, that's when I kind of got my head screwed on and started to pay attention. But then the market fell out. And so then it was like, what I just learned is still valuable, but now I need to pivot.
What was your thought at the time? Because I'm assuming it was a big decision to take it seriously and something that, like, if you wanted to be a victim, that would be a pretty easy excuse, right?
Yep. Oh, 100%. That's just not my personality. It's not. And I think at that point, I really saw opportunity because I had people approaching me saying, hey, I think there's some good investment property opportunity. I didn't know anything about investment properties. I just shook my head and said, oh, okay. And these were people that were very well schooled in the game, older than me, had been doing it, large portfolios. I happened to meet them. Some of them I met through music. I'd play these really high dollar events and I'm just around a lot of very successful people. And I'm like, oh, I'm a realtor. And they didn't know what I was doing. But that's when I learned, oh, wow, okay, huge opportunity here because now the market has changed. These people still want to buy, they still want to enter the market. And whether it's a builder or someone just selling their house or their properties, they all want the same thing. They
So
want to sell a product and someone wants to buy it.
I have a question for you for one, any agents that are just starting in real estate or any young business owner that maybe has really honed in on their skill but doesn't understand something you just said about the music side. I see the skill of being able to play music for you as being able to get access to people that you don't normally get access to on top of having a good time. And you have to deliver. How many people do you think miss the skill set of just getting in the right rooms, having a fun time, and meeting the right people? Because that is a sport in and of itself. And the more I'm in business, the more I realize like a lot of people optimize their life around fun events, exclusive events, and then meeting like minded people.
I would say almost all of them. I would say almost everyone. Because when you first get in the game, if you don't know what the game is and you don't know really what you're after, guess what? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're missing. And I missed tons of opportunities. Literally, it's like the Aflac commercial, where it's just like that duck sitting there like Aflac. And I was that guy in the corner of the room playing these events. And it had this huge network of people, and it was like real estate, hey, realtor. But people didn't know that until I really stepped forward and tried to connect the dots. And so I think a lot of people are probably intimidated to step out of their comfort zone because everyone wants to be an expert. They want to be an expert immediately. They don't think they're going to be taken seriously. Or at least that was my opinion of myself. If my ego was looking down at me, that was my opinion of myself. So what I would have done and what I would have changed is stepped into those conversations, maybe looked a little foolish, not knowing what I was talking about, but I would have listened. I would have asked a lot of questions and really tried to find out what it is these people are looking to do. Is there something I can do to help them? Or is there someone I can introduce them to that could help them?
So at this point in your career, what do you think is the real skill? Does anyone actually expect you to be an expert, or do you think that people are more working with you because they want to see how quick you can connect the dots?
Great question. I would say a lot of people at this point are looking for how quickly you can do something, but how honest you are and how much they can trust you. I feel like that's it, man. If they trust you, even if you're not the quickest, even if you are weeded and you're a one person operation, you don't have a team, you don't have a back end, if you're doing it the right way and you're making those connections, they're going to trust you. They're going to wait. They're going to be patient. That's my experience.
What one thing I've noticed a lot on that note is AI was a big one for me where I took the honest approach. I saw everyone hushing it and treating it like, oh, I'm drinking on the weekend, like when you're in high school. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, everyone's using AI. And I took this approach similar to what you're saying right now, where I just told people I used it. I didn't play the expert role. I didn't act like I knew anything that anyone else didn't know. But in the process of that, I started getting advice that I don't think I could have searched myself. I would get people suggesting, hey, build this. And I was like, I didn't even know there's a need for that. What was one of the moments where you caught yourself being honest and someone way smarter than you taught you something and worked with you?
Not that this is scripted, but I would say having the two things meeting you, meeting Jason Cousineau. Those introductions and the back end, and I would say just the level of knowledge about what both of you are doing really changed the game for me. With you, it was the fact that everyone might have access to AI, but do they know how to use it? Do they really know how to use it? It's like an iPhone or any phone. Do people, what is it? They use 2% of the phone or
Yeah.
less? They don't know. How many times have you and I sat there? You're like, no, here's how you do it. Yeah, you go to your back and here, help me on the tech side. I'm normally pretty quick. If someone shows me, if I read it, boom, I normally can get it very quickly, but I don't know what I don't know. So I would say when I met you, wow, AI prompting. That's the first thing that comes to mind is you're just like, yeah, that's great. Let's talk about prompting. And the reason that's important is because then you can really refine what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. So I knew immediately when I met you, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's way smarter than me in a lot of different angles here, especially when it comes to the technology side and using AI and how I can really leverage AI in my business. And it wasn't just AI driven because obviously you do a lot of marketing in conjunction with AI, but it was just, hey, let me take this off your hands. Let my team and I take this off your hands. So I would say that was a big eye opener because I have trusted other companies to help me with, not with AI, but with other things with marketing and lead generation. And I would say every time it might have started off, oh, we got some momentum. This is great. And then it would either just get stagnant or it would die.
Yeah.
Meeting
Look,
Jason. Oh, sorry.
I want to talk about Jason in a second too.
Yeah.
Before we get there, the other thing that was interesting is a lot of business owners, it's not always like they're up by 30 points on the scoreboard. Sometimes things look good publicly, but behind closed doors, it's a shit show. When I had met you, there were things happening in business that you wanted to take care of other people, and you thought that being quiet publicly was the right choice. Just from, let's call it a brief amount of putting yourself out there, how has it been in a world where everyone's very much on their phone to have real conversations start, or to hear all the comments of, oh, Chris, I didn't know you were into blank. oh, I didn't know you knew that person. Because I think that was something when I met you, I was so surprised by. I was like, he knows so many people, but you were very not present online. I'll put it that way.
Yep, absolutely. Again, I took more of the back seat. I chose to I chose to grow a team and be part of a team with multiple owners. And it was just a different type of mentality and different type of operation than I was used to. Because had I met you 2014, 15, you would have been like, dude, Chris, if I met you in that elevator, you'd be like, oh man, I checked your stuff out. I saw some of your videos. Oh, it looks like obviously you like the humorous side and the parody side of real estate. Great. That's probably what you would have noticed. And you would have noticed me getting myself out there. And then when I met you, you're like, does this guy have a pulse? Like, seriously, is he alive
I
or
think you
not?
were stuck. Yeah, you were stuck in logged out of your account prison,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the weight of serving your clients and making everything work and being a dad was priority one.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What was it like the first time people hit you up and they were like, "Hey, I saw that," and you had no idea what they were talking about because it wasn't you that posted?
Super exciting because I remember there was one video, and I'm not sure which one it was, but it was one that obviously you and your team posted. And literally, that day it was like bing, 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 bing. I mean, probably 10 to 12 text messages, DMs, phone calls, in person discussions like that I ran into people. I'm like, what? Like, whoa, okay. And it's the stuff that you told me. Hey, man, put your seatbelt on, get ready. And it was exciting. It was really exciting to know that, wow, that content's out there and I didn't have to be a part of everything. It was really, it was gratifying to know that I can do what I love and I can have, not that I don't enjoy the back end and learning about how it is.
You don't love clipping files?
I would say that's not in my top 10 things I love to do, but it really opened my eyes to say, holy smokes, now the world's my oyster, right? Now I can just go out there because I love speaking. I love being in front of people. And I think I was silenced for a good chunk of time. And that was on me. I chose to do that. And now it's like the awakening.
So the transition here that I want to alley oop you for is that Jason was the one who invited all of us to Chicago. He was the one probably texting both of us at the same time, where you guys at?
Yep.
And one of the things that I'll give Jason credit on is he's a huge visionary in very sharp cornered boxes. And that's like the nicest way I can compliment him, because I think he understands that there's this model that he's intrigued by. He studied it deeply at a time when I don't think he necessarily needed to, but he was intrigued by it. And I had previously worked with Jason on Real Producers, and he was in the process of selling that. And so we had temporarily took a break. I'd see him on Facebook. And I remembered he kept bringing up this concept of the suites, the suites. And I literally DM'd him and was like, dude, this is cool. I'm not there yet, but I just want to know what it is. And it led me to a conversation of going, oh man, I just remember I'd watched so many Bigger Pockets episodes that I had this whole like game plan of buy a duplex, buy another duplex, do that for 30 years until Katie threatens to break up with me. And so seeing a whole nother model was very intriguing. But I'm curious from your side, like, one, how did you meet Jason? And two, what did the suites as a business model change in how you treated your own investments outside of real estate income?
Great questions. One, I met Jason through Real Producers, and the first thing I took away is this dude is relentless. One of the most persistent human beings. I would probably pair him up next to my buddy who sells life insurance. And is a this I literally, and this is he wasn't my buddy before then, but he probably called me 40 times this about life insurance and other things. And I was like, I got to call this guy back. I've got
It was too
to
heavy.
look, I'm in sales. I got to call this guy. And I did. And we ended up doing business. He's a great guy. Jason, very similar, just very persistent and very systematic. And that's what will lead me into. So I met him. We became friends. His approach was very value driven. And I love that. I love when it starts off value driven. All the people that I connect to that are influencers or that are in different industries or that are public speakers, That's what it is. They're like, how can I add value? And that's what he did. And it wasn't, I at first was like, oh, real producers. Okay, sure. And then I read about it, looked it up. And then before you know it, our third call, I'm like, okay, and here's another person that you want to call. Oh, and by the way, here's another industry. Here's a loan officer. Here's a home inspector. Here's a builder. And he called every one of them. And I'm like, use my name, whatever. But we built trust. He built trust with me. And then I also learned a lot about his systems. And so what I would say, how would that then transfer into everything else I'm doing in my world is just learning how to really focus on one or two things and get a really solid system in place. And then once you do that, rinse and repeat. And also treat your relationships like it is the last glass of water on the planet. That's it.
Let me ask you this, and I want you to be a little emotional here. How frustrating is it to make a connection to someone and then they do nothing and they just let it ride?
It is maddening. It is just, it's like when someone says, you know what? No, hey, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. Whenever, if you have a coach or a parent say that to you, you're like, wow,
That
okay.
hurts worse. That hurts
That
way
hurts.
worse.
They could use every curse word in the book and just, I could get thrown against a wall and feel better. But that's
Yeah.
how it feels. It's so disappointing. And I've done that literally time and time again. And guess what? I've done that to people in my life. I have. Absolutely. I'll admit freely that when I was growing up and there are times I'm not proud of it. When I'm like, God, Chris, wow, talk about dropping the ball there.
Yeah.
You buried the ball on that one. And yes, it's really, really frustrating, especially when you can't want it more than someone else. I know that's cliche, but it really resonates with me. You just cannot. You can't. They have to wake up and it has to be something they're passionate about. If they're not, they're probably not going to follow through. They're
Yeah.
probably not.
And that's just how it is.
It's just how it is. But what I've learned is, and that's when I mentor other agents and other business owners, I just say, what are you passionate about? Let's talk about that first. And what resonates with you? Is it money? Is it time? Is it experiences? Is it memories? What is it? And I actually find that a lot of people are like, honestly, yeah, I love money. That's great. I'd love to have this much money. But you know what? Memory. I want to go to Florida 3 times a year. I want to go overseas and climb this mountain. Or I want to go, and I know you're a huge outdoors guy. I know you love doing crazy stuff like that, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
But if you and I are having this conversation right now, and I've got my SUV parked outside and it is full to the brim with cash. I just jump back in my car. I'm not loaded here. Is it going to change my mind the way I'm having this discussion with you? No, it's not. For me, it's not. That car can remain empty with not a dollar in it, or it can be loaded with cash. It's not going to change who I am. I want to do things. I want to experience life. And so I feel that is, some people might be like, I don't care. I want a car full of cash. That's what I want. And that's fair. That's fair.
So
That's what they want.
how have you balanced out the long game? Because this is something that was very interesting to me when I talked to Jason about doing more than helping him with just his social media, but like participating in the system build of the suites. It's a very unique model where on the front end, it's like any other business, there's a lot of input to get an output. But what's interesting about it is how sticky it is. Like you always hear the term stickiness in business
Oh,
of like how
yes.
hard is
Oh,
it to lose a
yes.
customer. And it's one of these models where it forces a delayed gratification, but when it's complete, it's different than real estate, where the hamster wheel or the treadmill doesn't move as fast. And you can step off and it still puts the money in. So for you, what had your investing experience been up until talking to Jason about this? And then I guess how did you look at that versus other options you probably have been inundated with?
Yep. For me, my investment experience was more pretty quick gratification. I was doing fix and flips, and I know you have experience doing that too, and in short-term rentals, mid-term rentals. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we're just making money hand over fist every month. It was a lot of it was, oh, we have equity in the property. Okay, great. When we sell it, or we can do a cash out refi, great. But a lot of the things I have done have been more immediate, less than a year, probably payback or profitability. And now it's, whoa, it's not immediate. It's a funnel. It's going to be a longer funnel and multiple year funnel before you actually start to see the fruits of your labor. And it's really exciting because it is really sticky and it's really growing. And then as you look at it and have other locations and then get into other, whether it's other commercial real estate opportunities or residential, it just changed the way that I think. And that's, so now my focus is changed. It is. It just, you and I both talked about bigger pockets. I always
Yeah.
bigger pockets and the real estate investing book that you said you read.
Oh yeah.
Um, who was the author of that again?
Brandon Turner.
Yeah, Brinter. It's almost okay. You have graduated from single family. Let's go to multifamily. And so I was looking more at single to multi, which now I'm more in commercial buildings. But it was just such a shift of perspective for me. And that's what it is now with the suites and the way I look at things. It is not immediate gratification, but it is something that you can build a legacy with. And I
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting to me is like I work with a lot of guys at Flip, and it's exciting when you see 40K punch, 60K punch, and you're like, man, that was 3 months. But the thing that I think actually checked me was about a year ago, I made a public Facebook post. I was going to do my first flip, and everyone that makes money flipping DM'd me and said, don't. And I was like, what the hell? You guys are making motivational videos? Like, I've edited them. What are we doing? And they're like, no, no, you focus on that. There are bigger opportunities that will come. And I was so mad for a month. I'm like, everyone thinks I'm an idiot. Now, at the same time, I literally have never even used a screwdriver in this house. Like Katie is the man of the house when it comes
Yeah,
to
I
that
get
stuff.
it.
So
Oh yeah, understood.
there was a moment though where even talking to Jason, there's this time compression event where it doesn't make sense to do the quick wins. Like it makes sense to have the active income, but to do the oh yeah, let's buy a house, put a tenant in, and I'll refi it in 4.5 years. It the luster is gone. The paper math doesn't look as good, and I think it makes me look at what projects I pick a lot differently. Like that, I think that was a thing for me as I started building because I also saw you guys, right? Like I saw you and I saw Evan and everyone looking at it, and it hit me. I was like, the way these guys are approaching this is not how you approach doing 3 flips in a month. It was a whole different psychology. There was, yeah, let's get the accountants involved. Let's make sure this is documented. Like we had Christina running a PM section of it and then Michael doing the financial. It was just it was much more legitimate structure than I think what most people think of when they think about real estate investing.
Absolutely. And I think your friends that know you and your clients really honed in on what you're building here. Like you're already building.
Oh yeah.
It may not take a screwdriver. It just takes a different, it takes a different set
A
of
lot of
tools.
voice prompts.
Yeah, a lot of voice prompts, but I think that is great advice. And I think that it's also, it's also rewarding to step back and be like, okay, you know what? People do see a lot of promise in what I'm doing. And that's exciting in itself. And I think the first time I've said no to probably 3 to 4 flips, in the last 6 months. And it's so weird because I'm like turning my brain and I'm like, no, I'm like, as I'm going through what we're doing with the suites and then some of the other investments that, Jason and I are doing. And I'm like, no, nope. I do not have the bandwidth. It's great. Not that I don't think flips are wonderful. And I think that there's people that do an awesome job with it. That is, my time is not best served.
It's like when
But
you've got a steak dinner with the lady at 8 o'clock and your buddies are like, we're getting Chipotle at 5:30. And you're like, listen, no, there's
I
nothing
know
wrong with Chipotle at 5:30. But yeah, you got to
that
pay for
sounds good. I'm always down for us. I had some Chipotle yesterday. So I'm all about it. But yeah, if there's a steak dinner on the table and I can hang out with my wife, yeah. Catch you again next time.
All right. So now for the end, I'm going to hit you with some more rapid fire questions. The goal here is
Yep.
you're not going to think, you're just going to answer honestly. Okay.
Okay.
Did you expect AI to be as strong as it is starting 2026 as a realtor? Yes or no?
No.
What is the number one way that instead of removing yourself with AI, you have helped one of your clients using AI that in 2006 would have seemed like magic?
I would say data extraction, organization. I just literally helped an agent this morning with a letter of intent for a commercial property. Literally, I would spend hours on that. It took me about 6 minutes, and it was a really robust letter of intent that any investment group or landlord would be like, oh, okay,
All right, next question. If a business owner tells you they are a dog owner, do you trust them more or less?
more.
If a business owner tells you that they don't like posting content about their business because they're too in their head about it, what advice do you have for them?
Start. You have to
Okay.
start.
What is something that may seem unconventional today in 2026 that you're doing with your health that in 2036 you think will be as common as drinking a glass of water?
Probably, okay, probably monitoring, like blood draw monitoring and things like that. It seems like not, there's just a little bit more work into it. I think,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2036, I see that just being like oh, I got a bead of your sweat, whatever it is. Here you go. Here's your analytics.
And then you just look at it.
That's it. Yeah, or tongue, something, whatever it is.
Okay. And then the last one, if everything goes as you would like this year, what does December of 2026 look like when it comes to your real estate, when it comes to your investments, dogs, daughters, wife?
Wow. We'll have to take those one by one.
One by
Okay.
one. Start off with real estate. Chris, the realtor.
Yep. If 2026 goes the way that I am focused on, 2026, we will have completed Suites Johnston. Obviously, we already have another building that we're working on in Ankeny we'll have that refinanced. And Jason and I will have two more properties, one more Suites location, may not start construction yet, but it'll be underway, and one more triple net.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
How many homes are you going to help people buy? How many
Yes.
homes are you going to help people sell?
Yep. So I am going to help people buy. I'd love to do myself, just call it 30 homes and then sell, maybe call it 25.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. I used to have this big monster number and scale it. And I think because I'm in a different price point now, it's just changed the dynamic.
Okay. So now we've got the first two with the dogs. Are you spending enough time with the dogs right now? Honest audit.
No, no. And I got no, I know my little
Busted.
guy, I know busted, but you know what? He is. So you'll learn if you and Katie decide to take the route of kiddos. It's weird because Leo was our firstborn, right? We always joke around. Leo's our firstborn. We went and picked him up together. He was literally at 1.1 pounds. He looked like a gerbil. Dude, he was just, but we picked him up and he's our guy, he's our mascot. And unfortunately, when the kiddos, it's just, we still love him a lot and give him a good chunk of attention, but not like we should.
What would
So
Leo say if he's on the podcast right now?
he'd be like, this is some BS. Seriously? Yeah, he is what he would say, dude. He'd be like, listen, man, what does a dog have to do over here to get some more attention in this house? Okay. But no, I would say number one, walks.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. And we haven't done it. We definitely we'll take them outside and do things, but no, it's walks, it's more attention. That is on
Let me give a
us.
tip for every business owner that has a dog that's going to watch this. I call them GPT walks. So it's just you and your dog. You don't have your wife or your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend with you. You're going to tell your AI to interview you about something you're currently working on in your business. It could be a 10-minute walk, 30-minute walk. I did an hour talk on Sunday with Claude, making new skills for what we're going to automate this week. So for you and every dog owner moving forward,
I love that idea.
treat those two as a habit stack. The dog gets happier the more you use the system, and then you're actually progressing the amount of dog walks they're going to get. So when I meet Leo, he can thank me for that one.
Oh, he will, man. He will. He's going to bark at you for about 10 minutes and he's going to act like he is ferocious, but he's 4.5 pounds. He still doesn't know that. That dog does not back down, dude. He does
Okay, now
not.
we got two more. So then
Yep.
daughter goal. Okay, so you're a busy guy. You're a realtor. You're leading this team. You got to help other people. You're also
Yep.
building the suites. Daughter goal. How much time are you going to be spending with them?
Yep. Daughters. Because I got two. Yep. My main goal is to have, I really would love to have at least a full hour a day of just daughter time. And I
Full
know,
focus.
and I know there's some people who are like an hour. Oh my gosh, that's not much. Get into the world. If you don't have kiddos, to have a full hour, and we do have those days. I all have days where I have 4 hours. It's awesome. But number one, I want to have a full hour. And whether it's making, we do a lot of fun things now. We wake up, we normally make breakfast every morning. Both of them help me. They help with some dinner things. So we do a lot of cool things together, but I want to also bring them into my world. That's number two is like today, Emma, my oldest, she's, Daddy, when do I get to go to work with you? Again, I want to come. And she was a little let down the first time because I took her to real estate and she thought we were going to music. So I don't want this job. I want music. It was so funny because she's super musical,
Yeah.
very just in my opinion, very much a natural. And so is Clara. They're both very musical, but I want to bring them into my world, both worlds. But Emma and I had this conversation this morning. She said, "No, Dada, I want to come with you." So I'm going to bring her. Like I'm going to bring her to the office, especially with summer coming up. She'll be able to.
Ooh, you could trick her, take her to a title office until she complains and be like, "You want to just go see houses yet?" And then
Oh, that's what it is, man. No,
put her in the most boring title office you can find and let her just sit there and hear the printers.
she's going to be like, this is not fun. Seriously. I mean, but she will find something fun about it. So that's what I want to do. And I want to bring her that now with the suites, when it's more manageable, we're almost at drywall level. That'll be cool. Walk her through, hang out. She can run around. She can see what we're doing. So that is my main goal with the girls.
And then last but not least, wife.
Yes. Wife, I have a lot of work to do. I really do. It's, I think it comes to being so focused on trying to provide for the family as she's doing. We're both providing for the family. She's killing it. She is. She's in beast mode as mom and as everything else and just a great caregiver. I need to step it up and unplug. And you've been really good. We've had some good talks about that. I know that you and Katie work on making those specific times. I need to be better as a leader. I need to lead my family on some of these things on lots of these things. And just what I guess mean by leading is mainly making time for us to do these types of things, whether it's just sneaking away. I need to also bring my wife into the business more because
Or the ugly days.
that's what it is. And then, but also show her the good days. Because I think that I've gotten so focused on different things that unfortunately she might only see the ugly days and not see really how robust things really are and the growth and all the great things that are happening. So bring her in the business, make way more time for us to have just great special time together where we can do things, we can hang out, catch up, whether it's date night or just unwinding. So that's on me. And the way to do that is to just book it.
Yep. Hey, tell Claude. What? Hey, tell everyone what blew your mind yesterday. What was the first thing I had you do with Claude?
Oh man. Yeah. Claude, I attached my email account. And then was that the first thing we did with Claude?
Email
Is
then calendar.
yeah, oh the calendar, that's right. Yeah, email and then calendar. Yeah. And just instantly added a calendar event seamlessly.
So talk to people real slow. What did you do that previously was not able to be done? So you opened one app.
Yep, I opened one app. I was able to just on a voice prompt tell Claude what I wanted to do. Create an event with the following. And then put on my calendar, set a notification, boom. And I did that and within 10 seconds, it was like, okay, I've added that. And I was like, went over there. Sure enough, there it was. There was the event. And what I love about that is I use voice prompts a lot with Apple, with Siri. And so I'm able to do some of those things, but not to that level. Siri's okay, what time,
Yeah.
new calendar event. Okay. It's pretty robotic. But with Claude, I literally could say, if I wanted to, I could have said, hey, Claude, do me a favor, put this event in, and then I want you to email me this event. And then, by the way, I don't know if Claude can text or not. I probably could have done something, message me, whatever. And that blew my mind. The other thing I did today was I went back and I said, hey, Claude, go back through my email a year and I want you to match up all of the emails and names with phone numbers and then create a list for me. And okay. So I went back, found a bunch of people, and it was just more of a cross reference to make sure I
Hmm.
had everyone's information because there were some emails. I'm like, oh. And then the other thing I did, took your advice. I woke up today and I said, hey, Claude, can you go back 2 weeks and find any emails I didn't respond to or maybe I missed? And I was like, oh my gosh, what? Because some of them went to spam.
And
And
how much easier is it to focus on the big stuff when that's
it,
done?
it is, it's way easier. And I'm going to tell you that I think with where AI is, if anyone takes the time to actually utilize it, I don't see how you cannot make a great living. I really don't. You've got, you literally have a, an assistant that can do very high level tasks. It's not like you're asking to just, oh, hey, can you stuff some envelopes? That was my job. I was a really good envelope stuffer when I was in my college internship, when I was learning to be a financial consultant, stuffing envelopes. But you now can put together very detailed information and reach out to people, give them things that they are actually looking for and add value. So I really am super excited to, like I always say, let
Hmm.
some air out of my brain. And it really makes a big difference.
Yeah. All right, Chris. This is episode one of many. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Alex. Appreciate you, buddy.